Football season is finally here in week one. It's here, guys. The New York Giants versus the Washington Commanders this Sunday. I'm so excited for it. We have a lot to talk about here in today's video. But before I do, if you love the Giants and you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe. We're on the road here to 3,000 subscribers. So if you can help us get there, that would be a gigantic blessing. We have to start with Andrew Thomas. Thomas missed practice yesterday, but he did practice today. However, he's listed as doubtful on the injury report versus the Commanders. James Hudson will start in Thomas's place if Thomas, in fact, does miss Sunday's game. Thomas said this, though, in regards to him potentially playing Sunday. I think we'll see. According to Jordan Radnan, Thomas took his first team reps of the year this Friday. He's currently managing pain and soreness. Will base his decision on risk of re-injury. Here's how I feel about this. Number one, Andrew Thomas might be the most important person on that offense. If he's healthy, the quarterback gets his protection. The run game is a lot better. Just without him, this offense can't function like it should. We've witnessed it the past few seasons. 2023, he played in 10 games. 2024, last year, he played in 6 games. You need Andrew Thomas on the field. You need Andrew Thomas healthy. Now, if he doesn't play this Sunday, would that suck? Abso-freaking-lutely, it would suck. It would be a big blow to the New York Giant offense. However, if you're a little nervous, if you're at risk of re-injury, you don't want to take that chance. You don't want to play. You don't want him to play. So unfortunately, you're going to be without one of the best tackles in the NFL this Sunday. Most likely. He's doubtful. James Hudson will start in his place. No offense to James Hudson, but he's not Andrew Thomas. And listen, Andrew Thomas, man, he's come such a long way. His rookie year was horrible. People were calling him a bust. Then all of a sudden, his second year, he improved. In his third year, breakout. He was fantastic. So when Andrew Thomas, he needs to be healthy, man. And when he is healthy, this Giant offense could roll on all cylinders. They really can. But if he's not healthy, just don't play him. I agree there. Just don't play him. So Andrew Thomas, as of right now, he's doubtful for Sunday's game. But according to him, hey, he thinks he'll play, but we'll see. Malik Nabers was not on the injury report, but didn't do too much at practice today due to back stiffness. He's expected to play on Sunday versus the Commanders. Malik Nabers. Don't really have to explain his purpose on this New York Giant team. Nabers last year as a rookie had one of the greatest seasons for a New York Giants receiver of all time. Malik Nabers last year caught 109 receptions, over 1,200 receiving yards, 7 touchdowns. Nabers is so important to this offense, just as important as Andrew Thomas, of course. If Malik Nabers isn't there, if Andrew Thomas isn't there, I don't feel too good about Sunday. Because how the heck are we going to score points with the protection not being that great and our best offensive weapon not in there? You need Malik Nabers in there. You need him. And Andrew Thomas, okay, not playing, but Nabers has to be in there. And listen, this is the second year in the league, but last year, Malik Nabers, look at that quarterback room. He had Daniel Jones throwing to him, Drew Lock. Right, he had Tommy DeVito. He didn't have really great room last year. This year is a gigantic upgrade. Russell Wilson, right, who's starting week 1. Jackson Dart, who's QB2 on the depth chart, and Jameis Winston. Jackson Dart being QB2 shouldn't shock anyone. I know people are now jumping to conclusions and saying, oh, they should trade Jameis Winston. Winston should want to be traded. If you think that Winston should want to be traded and want to get out of New York, I think you're insulting his intelligence. Jameis Winston, when signing with the New York Giants, knew what he was getting himself into. The Giants were also pursuing Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers at the time. They signed Winston to a 2-year deal, not a 1-year deal, a 2-year deal. Winston had to have known that the Giants were looking at a quarterback. Jackson Dart was linked to the Giants. Shedeur Sanders was linked. He had to have known, hey, the Giants might grab a quarterback here. So I'll sign on for 2 years. I'll be the second or third string. And then in year 2 of my deal, if Russell Wilson isn't here, Jackson Dart is the starter. Hey, I'm the second string. And for Jameis Winston, I think that's great. And he knows that. We know that. But the media saying, oh, should the Giants trade Jameis Winston or Jameis, he should request a trade. Not for nothing. Look at the deal Jameis got. A 2-year deal, $8 million guaranteed, not per year, across those 2 years. It wasn't big money. Nobody was offering Jameis a spot to be their starting QB. He took the Giants job because I think he wanted to be a New York Giant. So he took that job. He did that on purpose. So don't sit here and say, oh, Jameis, he should request a trade or blah, blah, blah. He's unhappy. Jameis is such a great guy to have in the locker room, and the New York Giants know that. If there is one guy who's not going to bark, it's going to be him. He's a guy who's going to build up the locker room, be a leader. That's what Jameis's role is on the Giants. And listen, he's a good quarterback still. Last year, 13 touchdowns. I know 12 interceptions, so he turns the ball over a bit much. But listen, we're not asking him to start week 1. He's the backup or the third string. Jameis being the third string shouldn't shock anybody, especially after the kind of preseason Jackson Dart had. But don't sit here and act like Jameis Winston should request a trade because, quite frankly, as I said, he knew what he was getting himself into. He wasn't dumb. He's not stupid. So please do not, in my opinion, that's kind of insulting Jameis's intelligence. Don't do that. In other news, Kafka is the play caller for week 1 for the 2025 season. Kafka was the play caller for the New York Giants back in their playoff year of 2022. I hope Kafka goes in there and does the right job because there was a reason why he was relieved of those duties. Everybody thought that Kafka was going to leave the team. Instead, he stayed. So I trust Kafka. I like him a lot. We'll see what he does with Russell Wilson. We'll see what he does with Malik Nabers as being the primary play caller this year. I think it's a fine move. And Theo Johnson, Giants tight end, it's good to go. He will be playing Sunday versus the Commanders. 6'6", tight end. Caught, I believe, 29 passes last year, over 300 receiving yards, 1 touchdown. I like Theo Johnson a lot, and I expect him to take that extra step this season. But guys, listen, let me know what you think down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're pushing towards 3,000 subscribers. So if you can help us get there, that would be a gigantic blessing. This is Joe, and until next time, signing out.